Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. Today's video I'm going to be breaking down my second song on my newest EP, Calling, and it's going to be the self-titled song. Now right off the bat, as you guys can see, I froze pretty much every track just to try to save my CPU, because yeah, I will unfreeze everything just to show you how it is. From here on out, my first track wasn't too complicated, but this is where things are going to get kind of crazy, sound design wise, mixing wise, just processing wise. So I'll try my best to explain it. I'll just play just this intro part uninterrupted, and then for the rest of the video I'm just going to do breakdowns by sections like how I did my first one. And yeah, if you guys want to listen to it, check it out on my SoundCloud. Link is always in the description if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, I'm just going to play a little bit of the intro. So that was the intro to Calling. For this intro section right here, I guess I'll just do this whole intro section right off the bat, because this is technically the drop right off the bat. So it's intro / drop. I started off with these two samples that I found on Splice. Really nice, pretty, colorful samples. So this is what they sound like together. Yeah, just really pretty. On the EP, I did cut out this intro part though, and it does start right here right away at the drop, because I did incorporate this build sweep into the ending of the first intro song of the EP. So it just starts off right off the bat like this instead. We'll get into the first main sound that you're hearing, and that's this one right here. I labeled it as a color bass. You'll understand why right now, but this is the sound by itself. This is the main lead sound, I guess, that you hear throughout the whole entire track. This is a lot of sound design in this. I do want to give credit, however, to Jaren again. This whole entire, essentially, rack was made by him. I ended up seeing it through one of his lives, and so what I did, I just copy pasted the exact same plugins, the exact same effects onto this one. Essentially, this rack was inspired by him, or was created by him, I should say better. And I just decided to copy the rack and try to mess around with it as well. So I'm going to show you what it sounds like with no effects on at all. It's really simple. This is what it is. It's essentially just a square wave with no effects on it at all. Just some noise. I will show you what it sounds like right now with no effects on at all. So as you hear, it's super simple, just a square wave, that's it, and a little bit of white noise with 50% level, that's it. You will hear it sliding and gliding in between notes. That's because I did use the MPE mode in Serum. This is also, again, another trick I learned from his live that I was watching when I also copied this rack. Pretty simple stuff. I just bended the notes to stay in the same key of the song. So right here, it's already at a low D sharp, and it just goes down even lower by another octave, I think. Yeah, 2 octaves it goes down. And then this one goes down an octave, up an octave. I think this one's just down, again, just all octaves. But this is what they sound like. I eventually started adding more and more to it. So as you start adding more effects, this is what it starts to sound like. First an EQ, hard cut at the low end, a little bit of mid boost, and high end boost as well, along with a saturator. And this is what it sounds like with those two. would say these two plugins are the two most important ones that carry the entire sound throughout, which are the phase flanger and the chroma. So with adding just the phase flanger after the EQ and the saturator, this is what it sounds like. Then when you add the chroma on top of that, it gets even crazier sounding, and that's what makes it sound like this really, really pretty, swirling, really, really beautiful, atmospheric. When you add the chroma, this is the big component. This carries it a lot. Chroma and the phaser flanger are the two big components in this sound. Now, after those, throw another OTT on here, 29%, pretty big high boost, mid boost, keep the lows, and a 2 dB gain. And this is what it sounds like with OTT. So yeah, it just makes it, again, super bright, super pretty, squishes everything together, and it just makes everything more upfront. Next, I throw on a Serum 2 FX with Convolve, just so it can sound more stereo, super, super wide. This is what it sounds like with it. Then after the Convolve, I then add an auto filter, which you heard right here. It's just at the end for the build. Next, I add another OTT, but this time Ableton's just a little bit more squished, just so it can be a bit more squished. And then a compressor and a grain delay. Then to finally finish it all off, just a little bit of reverb and a limiter at the end. And then this is what the entire sound sounds like after the full process. So that's the color bass portion of it, one of the main carrying components of the song. Next, underneath that, I did put a sub as well. Next up is this sub, super thick sub that I have. It's essentially the same thing as the color bass, same exact notes. It also has the MPE for it as well, the exact same dips. The reason I separated these two was for the sound design for this one. I didn't want any bass in it. I just wanted it more for the sound design. This one is mainly solely focused on just being carried as a sub. So this is what the sub sounds like with all the processing on it. So that's what it sounds like with all the processing. Real quick, without it, this is what it sounds like. So for the processing on this one, I have a saturator and an EQ cutting out the high end. Then I add a OTT on it with 14%, not a lot, almost 2 dB of gain, and a lot more high end. Then of course I just add an 1176 compressor to even it out. I also add a clipper with 50% saturation, and I also add about 2 dB of gain, and then I add a limiter at the end of it as well. But yeah, that's the sub. So with those two together, this is what they sound like. Okay, this next sound is this pad called Stellar. This is, again, one of my pads that I created right here in my loops folder, pads, Stellar. I actually made this pad through one of Pluko's loops from one of his sample packs that he was actually selling on his website a while ago, a couple months back. I think this actual sample pack, it's back up on site. If I remember seeing it on Instagram, I think he posted saying that he would re-upload it for people to buy because it was a limited time only. But yeah, so I made this pad, and processing on it, not too crazy. This time I just added a little bit of distortion on it from the kilohertz effects, and then I added some OTT on it again, and then chroma as well for the high end, only at 69%. So then just EQ and then a compressor. Not real much sound design, but this is what the pad sounds like. I was mainly just cutting out the lows and mids a little bit to let everything else breathe, but that's pretty much that pad. Next up after the pad is going to be this layered sample. Again, this is one of my own. I don't have it in this sample pack, but this is a song I was working on, I think about last year. I just never did anything with it, and it happened to be in key with this song, so I just decided to use it. Only real thing I did to the sample was add trash to it for a little bit of distortion. The drive is, see, barely nothing, 0.50. EQ'd it again, no lows, a little bit of the highs, added a serum effects to it, added a filter that is routed to this LFO, a convolver, and then a compressor. And this filter is actually what's giving it its main movement and sound. Just a simple layering pad sample sound. So next up is this other layer. This one has a bit more processing on it. I do not remember where the sample's from. If I remember correctly, I think this was from Splice. I don't remember what pack it's from. So what I did for this one was I added an Echo Boy Jr., just quarter note echo, ping ponged it, a little bit of saturation, and I have it on the space setting for the echoes. Again, I also routed the LFO to the cutoff knob on this filter to sweep between, and then I EQ'd it, boosted the highs, and then a compressor. And then I added chroma on it, of course, again, EQ, 1176, another compressor after that, and then a limiter. But yeah, as you can hear, that chroma's really carrying it a lot. It just makes it in tune and key with the song. If without it, it probably wouldn't have sounded good. Okay, so next sound after that, this second portion of the intro drop, which is this guitar loop. Now for this one, not a lot of processing, just EQ, chroma, compressor, and limiter. The sound was already a little wonky, a little weird in the beginning, so all I really did just to make it in key again was throw on chroma, and that's pretty much it. Not a lot of sound design for this one, but I did pan this one 25%, a little bit to the left. That way it could still make a little bit of space for everything else, because this is a really big, heavy, layered portion of the song, and I don't want everything to just be dead center. Just to give it a little bit more width, more space for everything else. And this next one as well, this one is from, if I remember correctly, I think this pack is from a Frost Children sample pack on Splice. Yeah, not much to that one, just chroma. Oh, this is how it's supposed to. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't even have chroma on it technically. Well, it had that, EQ, and then an auto filter. That's it. And then this one is also panned 25, but to the right. This is what the entire section of all these layered sounds sound like together. And for the drums, this is what the drums sound like by themselves as the full group. Again, really simple drums, but in the context of everything, while all this crazy stuff is happening, it combines well together and it just sounds good in my opinion. Not really much to the drums. The kick just has a slight dip at around, I think that, yeah, 61 hertz. The clap just has saturation on it again. Limiter just for this hiccup clap. Cymbals, they're a little hissy, but in the context of the song, it sounds good. Obviously not when they're soloed, but in the context of the song, that's what matters. So it's more present. Not much on these, just saturation and a compressor. Hats, I think this is a hat off Splice. A little bit of phaser, flanger on it, OTT and compression, and just a simple crash. For these vocals, I ended up using these off of Splice and just chopped them up a little bit. So this is what they sound like. I grouped these vocals together and I just compressed them to make them sound more even, more leveled with each other. Then I added a clipper, 50% saturation, a little bit more, double the oversampling. By default it's 4, just put 8, and then 2 dB gain, and that's pretty much it. Then for this reverse vocal, it's a lot of processing. So a saturator, OTT, some echo, reverb on here, the Ableton stock reverb, Ableton OTT, and then EQ, you could see it right here, the compressor, and then a Kickstarter again for sidechain. For the vocal chop, I just threw it into a simpler, added saturation, Echo Boy Jr. again, OTT. This time I added Fresh Air to it. If you guys don't know about Fresh Air, this is a free plugin, highly recommend. Really good for adding high end and mid highs to any track or any sound. It is free, so you can grab it online for free. It adds a lot of high end without it being too harsh. So I would really recommend this plugin. Again, EQ, compression, clipper, and kickstart again. So that's the intro drop done with. Next, we're going to go into this breakdown because after the drop, it just transitions into this filtered out long build, breakdown to build back into another drop. Not much this time, honestly, just reused the color base and introduced it right here, but with a filter on it. So I'll play a little bit of this section right here so you can hear what it sounds like. Filtered out breakdown into a slow build right here, and then it just goes back into another drop. For this one, I introduced new samples again. This was around the time when I bought Pluko's sample pack that he came out with at the time earlier this year. But yeah, I had just bought the pack, so I wanted to use some samples, so I ended up going with this one and this one and just layered them together. I chopped this top one, and this bottom one I honestly really didn't do much to it, but this is what they sound like. Didn't do much to them, just I added roar to this top one, then I added chroma, the 1176 and LA2A, so double compression, and then just EQ hard cut on the highs, hard cut on the lows. That's it. For the second one, not much either, same thing as the top one, hard cut highs, hard cut lows. But yeah, it's just super simple stuff right here. Then I added this piano section. Not much crazy processing for this piano. I don't want to butcher it, but it's Imagiro. I don't know, but I used the Shearwater piano. Very, very, very pretty sounding piano. This warm and soft preset is my absolute favorite. Again, as I said, an 1176 and then an LA2A just stacked. This is for compression, fast compression. This is for a slower compression and a little bit of warmth. And then I added a clipper and then a limiter. Yeah, for these effects, I didn't really add much, just EQ'd them. And then for this one specifically, I added a reverb. For this bottom one, all I did was just EQ. This is again another sample from Pluko's pack, but for this one, I'm pretty sure I just reversed it. That's pretty much it for this filtered down breakdown part that slowly transitions into this next part. Yeah, for this second part, it's the same thing as this. I used some samples from the same ones over here in the intro drop. I just cut out about 3 of them, filtered it until it's being swept up, carried over these samples into this section, and then slowly started building it with these new pattern drums right here. I pretty much put an auto filter on all the groups to slowly build up at the same time. The drums are the same, the sounds are the same effects leading into the second drop, which is essentially more or less the same as the first one. That's essentially Calling. This was one of my favorite tracks to make because this was one of the earliest tracks that I did make in this new style of mine. So yeah, it was just super fun to make, super fun to mess around with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I tried going a little bit quicker than I did on my other one just so it wouldn't be super long. For my next track that I will be breaking down would be Butterflies, which is, in my personal opinion, I think one of my favorite tracks out of the whole EP. But I am super excited to get into that one next. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know if there's anything you want me to get into more detail next time. But yeah, guys, go stream Calling. Link to it is in the description as always. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Take care.